We're back in its youth rating once again, and today, should I say g'day, we're down in Australia. That is an awful accent. But we've gone to Australia, and I won't do the accent for South Korea. That's sensible, isn't it? Judging by how bad the Australian one was. It's the Socceroos versus the Soccereans. Yeah? Max youth rating for both nations. Let's jump in. So, I don't know who was here. I don't know who saw it on the channel quite recently. So, Australia, the Socceroos, 25.49 million as a population. They're currently 39th in the world. They have a youth rating of 200 because I've made it so. The finances of Czech Republic versus Slovakia, when we're like 150 years into the future, Australia won like 4 World Cups in the space of like 28 years. Inexplicably. Like, how? So it's inspired me to see if we can replicate that by giving them the max youth rating and all the clubs in the division with state-of-the-art facilities, as you can see. The training facilities are only good, but I've made exceptional facilities for youth recruitment, junior coaching, and youth facilities. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've also decided to do it as a versus because we do like to do a versus on the channel. We've gone with South Korea. Why South Korea here, you ask? Well, they're in that part of the world as well. Jürgen Klinsmann's the manager, which I found hilarious. And I wanted to try and get a nation that wasn't too dissimilar to Australia in terms of population. South Korea is double, but, you know, the Japanese leagues aren't on this. China's like 1 billion. And I just felt like South Korea seemed to be a good fit. So we've got South Korea versus Australia today in the max youth rating. If we have a quick look at the nation details, as you can see here, 200 max youth rating, of course. 27th in the world, so they're 12 places ahead of Australia as it stands. Will the gap remain 12 or will it get closer? Will one of them win the World Cup? That's the goal. In the Asian Nations Cup, Australia beat South Korea in 2015 in the final in Sydney, Australia. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time I slip into an Australian accent. I apologise for how bad it is. Not going to bloody stop me though, is it? That was awful. I might stop. I probably won't. Right, so we've got 100 and something years to simulate through. Well, it's already simulated. We've already done it. So I've created a shortlist. I'm not going to create a shortlist. I've created a search. It is either you are South Korean or you are Australian. The potential ability or current ability of these players, as you can see. South Korea have the edge so far, but they do have much higher world ranking. Will that remain the same? Will that remain the case going through the experiment? We've got one player in the 160s. It's Heung-min Son. Of course, we're all very familiar. One in the 150s, it's Kim Min-ji. Hwang In Byom at 140. Then it's quite a few in the 130s, then the 120s, and then we're slipping down into like the 1-teens. So there's not too many world beaters. But that will change. That will change. So we're going to jump through 50 years. And we're going to see how things are progressing. South Korea are currently in 5th. They were up in 4th, but they are currently in 5th position, which is fantastic. And if you look at their top players, you've got Choi Jong-hwan at Real Madrid. He's a very good player. We're actually going to jump onto look at the national team as it is. The current ability then, 174, the Real Madrid player. Park Min-suk at 169. Son Jung-min at 165, also at Real Madrid. A couple at Bayern Munich in the 160s. And as you can see, the entire squad for South Korea is over 130. Most of them over 140. Lots over 150 and in the 160s. 174 is the best player we see currently in the squad. Some good potential in the under-19s as well. The 150s here. Well, I would say first blood to South Korea, but it is not. Because Australia are 4th. Australia were up in 2nd as well. And they're currently in 4th. They've obviously just pushed South Korea down. And if we look at the world ranking, we've got Brazil, Spain, Holland, Australia, and South Korea. Absolute scenes over here. And if we have a look then at the Australian team, current ability, the best player out of both nations so far is Ivan Kukoc, who plays for Chelsea. He's wanted by Atletico Madrid. Left MacArthur FC for free. Quite a few players in the 160s, 150s, 140s. A couple in the 120s, unfortunately. But the Asian Nations Cup has just been dominated by Australia and South Korea since we started this experiment, really. I mean, the first few years, it took them a while to get through. South Korea then won it. Then the only team that's won it outside of these two is Japan in the 2046-47 tournament. South Korea have taken far more than Australia, beating Australia in the final multiple times. And in terms of World Cups, well, nothing for Australia. They finished third in 2062, but South Korea in 2034 have won the World Cup. That is so early to win the World Cup. We're going to have to go back to 2034 and see what the hell went on. Denmark having a bit of a golden generation, very unlucky. Before we go back to 2034, just want a quick look at the shortlist. And Kwon Man Hee for PSG, why wasn't he in the squad? He wasn't in the squad. Retired from international footballing 3 years ago. Retired at 28. On 94 caps. Would have got to 100 caps. Kwon Man Hee. Kwon Man. Tenuous. He's the best player on the bloody game at the moment. So currently, Choi Jang-hwan is 185 potential, 174 current. Probably slip back down. Again, 3 for South Korea, but Australia coming through. And as we've seen, Australia are ranked higher, but South Korea have 1 World Cup to their name. They are winning in the Asian Cups as well. But I think the barometer for the success of victory in this experiment will be World Cups. So it's 1-0 to South Korea. We will be going through and looking at Ballon d'Ors as well. But let's go back to 2034. I want to see what squad they had. Let's take a mental snapshot of this. Current abilities. Few in the 160s, few in the 150s, loads in the 150s, quite a lot in the 140s, 1 in 174. Back to 2034 we go. Look at this. I mean, I've just jumped in. And of course, we've still got real players at this point. Look at Real Madrid's team. They've got a couple of regens at this Axoni of... Oh, they've got a goalkeeper who's a regen who looks absolutely filthy. They've got this Devas Pavlis who looks amazing. They've got Jamal Musiala, Bukayo Saka, Kane full of loves at Liverpool. If you know, you know. Delict, Jurien Timber, Camavinga's already there, of course. Vinicius Jr. is exploring his options. Tchouaméni, Real Madrid best have won like Champions Leagues coming out their ears. They actually haven't either. That's not why we're here. Australia 24th in 2034, just FYI, and they've got South Korean in charge. Obviously didn't get the memo that it's a versus. So Cosmin Olariu, South Korea in 11th. They were in 24th, and something's happened to make them go into 11th. But I'll tell you what's happened. They've won the bloody World Cup, haven't they? They've won the bloody World Cup, beating Belgium in the final 3-2. We're going to watch the bloody goals. Let's do it. Let's watch the goals before we go and look at the squad. There's Doku. Jeremy Doku scoring for Belgium in the 5th minute. So Belgium ahead. But not for long. Lee Jin-soo to Lee Si-woo. Back to Lee Jin-soo. 1-1. And here comes an own goal. Oh, shambolic. Look at Lavia. Arthur Tiatu was back there. So you've got a lot of real players still. What a goal. What a goal. What a first half this was. 42 minutes in, and it's what a strike. And in the 67th minute, when Lee Si-woo hopped up and scored another, tucking it home. 2 for him. And of course, he's playing for Real Madrid. Another player for Real Madrid. He's good, isn't he? He is good. 163 he is. 54 caps, 60 goals. That's a record, isn't it? He beat Spain in the semis. Lee Si-woo again. Lee Si-woo again. In a 4-0 win over Argentina. 4-0. 2 of them were in stoppage time, but still. 2-0 against Japan. They beat Brazil in the second round, knocking them out, winning 2-1. They lost to Germany in the group stage. But let's have a quick look at the awards. Because Lee Si-woo, I thought he might have done best player. 8 goals in 7 games, 2 assists, a 7.91. And the Golden Boot went to, of course, it was old Lee Si-woo himself. Remember, the truth is here. Let's go and have a look at the actual squad then. So we've got Kim Ju-yong for Liverpool at 180. So we've not got a player at 180 in the current present day. We've actually got a better player. And, oh, what is he? The game says he's a centre-back. But he's tackling at 13 to me. 13 jumping reach I don't like. He's a model citizen. Tell you that for free. 17 heading, but he's got 12 crossing, 13 dribbling. I'm sorry. Good pace, acceleration's a bit low. Work rate's a bit down, bravery's good. Are you playing him right back or centre back? I'm sorry, gang. This is going to be a really long video because I'm just waffling and we're just back and forth all over the place. But I'm having a lovely time. I hope you are as well. Where would you play him? Let me know in the comments. Kim Joo-young. World Cup winning centre back or right back. I think I'm playing him right back, to be honest. I don't like 13 for his tackling. And I like more jumping reach, really, than 13 for a centre-back. But that's me splitting hairs. If he had like 16, 17 tackling, I'd probably play him as a centre-back. I don't know. I'm torn. Good problem to have, though. We're not going to do it with every player. So Al Jazeera in the UAE have got Kim Song-hoon. He's a very good goalkeeper. Not worth a lot. But he's currently rated at 160. And they've got Shabab Al-Ali. They've got Song Byung-hoon. Again, not worth a lot. And he's a phenomenal talent. You want to... some Premier League clubs need to start tapping into this. And there you go. Jeong Sang-min, 150, 20 years old at Wolves, worth 41 to 123 million. He actually looks crap as well. But the squad is better in present day. But they've got one player that's better, who's currently playing for Liverpool. 6.75 million from LA Galaxy. And what a bloody signing it was. Australia are considering quite down the list. But they've got a few players. Go on then. William Knight at Man United. Rudy Lorenzi at Bayern Munich. Not bad. Not bad at all. He's good, isn't he? Old William Knight. 74 million from Rennes. Fantastic player. Determination 20. Flair 20. I'd argue that Australia have probably got the better players at this moment. Now we're going to jump through to the end, which is 21-22. It's only 100 years, this experiment. I might have said over 100 years. It's bang on 100. Bang on 100. Because, and I'll tell you why I did 100, because it took about 150 years for Australia to do it last time, and I didn't want them to have the same amount of time with these youth-generated players. So we went to 100. I remember now. So just having a quick look at the shortlist straight away, I can see Oh-min Kyu for Liverpool, 183 out 183 current, 184 potential. Again, we're looking at right back / centre back. He's got better tackling than our other player, but much better crossing. So now the question again, right back or centre back? For me, this guy feels even more of a right back, even though he's got better tackling. Jumping reach is down, heading's down. So yeah, legendary fullback. He bloody is. 145 million pounds from Benfica they paid for him. That's absolutely insane. Benfica paid 18 million. And we can see Kim Chul for Barcelona. So 2 Koreans off the bat. And they're second in the world. They're currently second in the world. Seo Ji-sung is the manager. Doesn't quite look 53, does he? Or Korean. Just saying. This New Jam face pack does something with the teeth, doesn't it? We've had it before. Like he's... Don't know what's happened. Has he got something stuck in him? If this is real people, I've said it before, if these are real people, I do apologise for slagging your face off, but I don't think it is. So, the second, Korea are second in world ranking. And if we have a quick look at the squad, full of fantastic players playing for PSG, Marseille, PSG, Barcelona, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, just a who's who. Some of these lesser players still playing in South Korea. And Dale Tonkin at Real Madrid at 174 is the current best player for Australia. He's 27 years old. He's a goalkeeper again. They love it, don't they, Real Madrid buying these goalkeepers. And Australia are third. They have been first. They have been first. So, yeah, we could be on here. We could be on. So we were last here. This is where we were about here. 2070, wasn't it? When Denmark had just come runner up. And the following season, Brazil beat Austria. Then Brazil beat Belgium. And Brazil won again. 3 in a row for Brazil. Croatia beating Austria. Argentina. Czech Republic. France. Australia in 2102. We're going to go back there. Yeah, in terms of world ranking, Korea is 6th at this point. And Australia are 5th. But Australia had come all the way up from 10th. Look at that. Another South Korean in charge. 69, Jayhuahua. Nice. And the World Cup finally beat Argentina. Argentina. Tom Higgins with the goals. Go on, Higgsy lad. Let's watch him. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. But he plays it into Higo. Oh, what a goal. What a volley. Well played, Higo. Again, that wasn't even Australian. I don't even know what that was. Here comes Johnston. Cabraja. Higo again. And he finds the top corner again. No answer. Fantastic from Higo. Brilliant stuff. 3-1 against Czech Republic in the semi-final. They beat Spain on penalties in the quarters. Beating France 2-1 in the third round. Extra time to beat Jamaica in the second round. They walked through the group stage, to be fair. They did walk through the group stage. Johnny Lawton was the player of the tournament. Currently playing for Spurs, getting a 7.73. 7 goals in 7 appearances. And the Golden Boot went to Johnny Lawton. Fair play. Dan Aleo got 11 goals. Apostos Zacharopoulos scored 6 for Australia in a previous World Cup. His goal scoring record wasn't phenomenal for any of his clubs. Leads me to think he wasn't a striker. 87 in 550. Oh, he's attacking midfield. He's a midfield, attacking midfield centre. It says there. I could edit all that out. I won't. Let you see behind the curtain of how much of a tit I am. Right. What are we doing? 2102. Yes. Back to the World Cup. Back to present day. So Australia took the World Cup in 2102. Then Uruguay, Holland, Australia coming third, Brazil, England with 2 in a row, South Korea coming third, and that's it. So it's 1-1. It's 1 apiece. That's not good enough, is it? We probably needed more simulation. But what are you going to do? We limited it to 100 years for a reason. Australia have come third more times. They're currently ranked higher. The Asian Nations Cup. It's been all about South Korea in that as well, hasn't it? So who's won? I think it's for you guys to decide who's won this. 1-1 in World Cups. Australia have done better, getting to more third place finishes in the World Cup than South Korea. But South Korea have won a lot more Asian Nations Cups, should I say, where they've actually beaten Australia on a lot of occasions. They actually haven't here. Australia didn't get to the final for 20 odd years. Don't know what happened, but anyway. So it's down to you guys who's won. But what we are going to look at is we're going to look at some Ballon d'Ors. Oh, we can't go through every single one, can we? Right, Football of the Year, Player of the Year, or World Golden Ball. Football of the Year, I think. So as you can see, 2022, it was Neymar who took it, with Kai Havertz in second place. Kevin De Bruyne over Erling Haaland 2 years in a row. Then Erling Haaland, Saka. We're going to be working through the real players, and it's the Mbappe, Haaland, and Matthias Tell show. Devad Pavlis, we saw him, didn't we? Playing for Real Madrid when we checked in at some point. Jamal Musiala at Real Madrid. Neil Hoskins at Man City. Welsh. The first one in the top 3 is William Knight, coming second. We saw Billy Knight, didn't we, when we checked in on the South Korean World Cup win. It's amazing that the South Korean World Cup win with some of those great players has not spawned a Footballer of the Year. This Admir Celibic has won it for... Look at Barcelona have absolutely rinsed it here in the 2040s. Did they win the Champions League a lot in the 40s? I bloody hope so. We're going to go and check. I mean, they did win 5, 4. I mean, if you count the one just before and one just after, they did get to a couple of finals and lose as well. They were in the final in like 12 years, they're in the final like 8 times, so fair play. But yeah, this Admir Celibic has won Ballon d'Or a hell of a lot. Slavcho Pisarov won it in 2067. Kwon Man Hee was in third, but Kwon Man Hee then won it the following season, the first South Korea to do it. It was a South Korean 1-2 with Choi Jong-hwan as well. So we were checking in around here, and then Choi Jong-hwan went from second to first the following season. And he won it 2 years in a row That's 3 in a row for South Korea. And then Song Jung-min won it for South Korea again in the 2077. So still none for Australia. Choi Byung-ok was in 3rd as well this season. So Australia, Song Jung-min again. South Korea running away with it. New Zealand, Fraser Gillespie, literally rubbing it in everyone's face. Like New Zealand. Peter Carey's in 3rd in the 2084 season. He moves forward into 2nd as old Peter Carey's at 29 years old. Can he do it? His fellow Australians. I don't think he can. Oh, and here we go. Johnny Lawton, 2 in a row. 2 in a row for Johnny Lawton. But then Hyo Myung-won winning in the 2108 season with Panagiotis Fatouras coming in 3rd. Ian Cottam. He looks a scary individual, doesn't he? He's now a coach. Hyo Myung-won won again. And Hwang Jong-young coming in 2nd. So South Korea 1-2. And we're really approaching present day. Hyo Myung-won again winning it. And that is it. So South Korea have absolutely taken it in terms of Ballon d'Ors or Football of the Years. Whichever one of these is the Ballon d'Or. Well, we don't know, do we? We're going with Football of the Year. I think 2 for Australia. I think it's about, 8, maybe 9 for South Korea. So that with the Asian Cup. Have they won it? Possibly. Let me know. Hope you enjoyed this one. I've had a nice time with this one. And it was a bit of a weird curveball one because of the way Australia did really well in a previous experiment. Normally I like to do the finances of 2 nations and then I do the youth rating as well, sort of do a comparison. I'm still think I'm going to do the Czech Republic Slovakia one, and I'm probably going to come and do finances for this one. But the finances for this one, I will definitely make sure I do at least 150 years, because the league reputation for these 2 leagues is not going to be anywhere near where it needs to be to attract some of the best talent in world football. But we can give it a bloody good go, can't we? Hope you've had a good time watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get your mitts on some of these experiment files, they're all available on my Patreon. Go and become a Jaytreon today. Help me out as a creator. I'll be very, very grateful. But if you don't want to, just stay here and watch this video, because this is the best for you, according to the algorithm. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.